It's 5 o'clock in the morning, 12 hours after I painted the panels. I brought these into my office. Now, like I said before, if you have a perfect painting experience and you won't have any problems you have to fix. The problems arise when you do have problems. And what we have here is where, as far as problems go, is that the paint can has been sputtering little tiny blobs of paint. That's the only way I could put it. You can see them right here, which is totally unacceptable. There's nothing I can do about that as far as an operator. Alright, the paint company used a wrong kind of nozzle. They used a pinpoint nozzle when they should have used a wide angle spray nozzle, probably just to save money. So what I'm going to do, since our goal is to make the silver as uniform as possible for the blue color, is to try and take off the high spots very carefully, the little blobs, and then mist over a very light coat of the ground coat and try and uniform this up a little bit. Remember that after I put on the ground coat, you don't have to sand anymore on the ground coat. You don't have to. We sanded the first one because that's the way I wanted to do it, to give it an even thick coat. You don't have to do that. I will take my razor blade right here and very carefully I will come along, and I can't do this on camera, and you don't want to use the edge because you'll nick it. You don't want to nick it. You want to use the center of the blade and slowly just peel off that little wart or whatever the hell it is. There. Another thing you want to look at is if you're going to put decals on your bike, and one of these blobs or whatever is where the decal is going to be, then it's, well, I guess you could say it's no big problem, but it is. Because your decal has got to go on very smooth. Otherwise, I know you've seen air pockets behind them, things like that. When we go to put the decals on the panels, we're not going to put them on this rough paint at all. You can still see a little bit of it's really rough, and that's the way I want it. But I will spray on my color coat. I'll get my color coat exactly where I want it. Okay? Then I will put on my first coat of clear. I'll sand the clear down if it's not smooth enough where I want it. After I get the first coat of clear on there, I will put my decals on. Now you can say, well, why don't you put your decals on when you paint it? Yes, that's true, but maybe I want to take the decal off later and still keep the same paint job, or not damage the finish. If I put the decals on back here or down here, or the big number 1 TT right here, if I decided I wanted to take it off, then all I'm doing is pulling it off the clear coat instead of pulling it off the blue paint, which will bring the blue paint with it and basically destroy the panel. Another thing I'm going to do before I paint is I'll redo this. I just want to do it because it just makes me feel better. But on this little thing, I have this big. Let's see if we can show you in contrast here. Remember, it's matter. It's a bump on the tit of the world. See, there's one right there. Okay, there's one right here underneath the vent. There's one up here. And now I have to pray that if I take this off and I go and do a mist coat, that the can isn't going to freak out on me again and give me these problems. What will happen when I go and paint, alright? The top of the can shows you that this is probably going to be the beautiful color right here. It's basically silver with a blue transparent. It's not going to turn out like that. In the end, the more clear that I put on the paint job right here, the darker it will get. That's just the way it works. So eventually, I believe that instead of this, it will look like this ski coat right here. Yes, that was me. But don't tell anyone. It will look like this right here, over a silver background, which is fine. And the more paint that I put on, the less the metallic will come into play. But we'll see. The thing is, once I've set my metallic, and once I've gotten the pattern that I want, I'm stuck with it. So I have to get it right now. So I'm going to take these nubs off, and we'll see what it looks like.